Welcome to today's episode of Ask the Pond Digger. Today we're going to talk about frog pond follow-up, how deep your pond should be, and should you separate your koi from your goldfish. Let me start the show off with a big shout out to all of our followers and fans who are sending in questions from across the globe. We're getting stuff from Greece, the UK, Honduras, India. They're coming in from all over the place, and I couldn't be happier. The first question we're going to start with was from a Derek Blackstone on YouTube. And he wants to know, can we revisit some of the ponds that we've already done and show all the plants that are grown in around the pond? And this is a question we get asked quite a bit, and I want to make sure that I got to tip you guys off on something. The way we film, we're pushing so hard to bring new content. Sometimes it's hard to get back to do some of the follow-ups. And I will tell you, a lot of people have specifically asked for the frog pond. They want us to go back and film that pond specifically and show how the plants are all growing in. I regretfully have to tell you that pond has been removed already. You want to know why? Okay, so check it out. We removed that pond because we did it on the set in our backyard. We have a set, it's our YouTube set, it's in the backyard, and when we want to film something and to be very specific and train people how to do stuff, we do it right there. We can control the light, we can control, we can go in and take a break, eat lunch, come back and work on the pond, and so we've removed that pond in preparation for yet another series that we're planning to put on our channel here. The fish pond, how to build a fish pond, that too, with the goat running around all the time, that pond has too been removed, and it's on our YouTube set. So we won't be able to do it to those two specific ponds, and we get asked all the time if we'll do that. I do want to tell you we have plans to shoot a glamour video on the how to build a koi pond video. That was specifically done in Hemet, California at one of our friends' house at Rosemary's Pond. We're going to go back and we're going to film like the glamour there and show all the plants grown in. So we will still give you guys that stuff, but at least it kind of gives you an idea of how dedicated we are to get you that content where we'll build something and then tear it out. On to the next question. The next question is, it came from YouTube, and he wants to know, should he separate his koi from his goldfish as he builds a new pond? And I've seen a lot of neat ponds with koi and goldfish mixed in them. A lot. I think it's really neat. I really see it in younger ponds, like if the pond is a smaller pond and the customer is just kind of getting into fish, they have a mixture of things going on because they are so excited and they want to buy stuff. They see a beautiful goldfish with a long tail, they add it in there. I would say ultimately, eventually you will separate the koi and the goldfish. When the koi get bigger and they start to spawn, they're pretty tough on the goldfish. So you want to keep them apart. When you have a 3-foot koi trying to spawn with a 6-inch goldfish, it could be a pretty rough event. So in the beginning, if you're just getting started, it's fun to mix them, or in maybe a smaller pond and a small garden pond in the backyard. Sometimes if you have your koi spawn in your pond, you might take the babies and grow them up in a small garden pond with some goldfish in that nature. But ultimately, the answer to your question is yes. I think eventually you should separate your koi from your goldfish. This one I have from YouTube. This is a good question. How deep should you build your pond? I answered this question already on YouTube because I was kind of nervous for the gentleman. I didn't want him to be in a dangerous situation. It's from River Beerzer on YouTube. I said, he says, are there any disadvantages to going deep in the pond other than the cost of the liner? Now he continues to tell me he has a 10 by 14 pond and he wants to go 9 foot deep because he's not afraid of digging. So let me tell you this. it could be dangerous to go that deep in a small pond, a small width, 10 by 14. It's not very wide to go that deep. And he mentions liners, so that means he probably doesn't plan on doing any concrete or structural work or block work in there, because if he was doing that, he wouldn't necessarily need the liner. So I would say the top koi specialists that I know on the planet are pretty fine with a 5-foot deep pond. Of course, there's a lot that want you to go deeper, and they might say, hey, 5's the minimum I want you to do on a koi pond. These are the top koi experts in the world. They might say 5 foot's the minimum I want you to go, but we can do an 8-foot or 9-foot pond. But these ponds are big with concrete walls, gunite spray, block walls, polyurea spray, big high-end stuff. And so if 5 is acceptable by some of the top guys in the nation, there's not really need to go that deep, especially if you can do liner. I just want you to be careful, because there's a lot of different digging and soil conditions. You have sand, you have granite, caliche, clay. I mean, there's a lot of different environments to dig in. So if you were digging that deep in a small pocket, you could have potentially collapsing while you're working down there. It could be very dangerous. Or potentially just as bad as you could get the pond complete without having a problem, and then your finished product could collapse down and be in a lot of trouble as well. So how deep you should make your pond, I would say 5 foot is pretty awesome, but 3-foot pond's great too. It really depends on the direction. Are you going to do a garden pond? They only need to be maybe 18 to 24 inches. If you're doing water garden pond with water lilies, they like that warm water. Koi pond, you want to go deeper. So the question is also in relation to what kind of pond you want to do. I want to finish off. Before I finish off, I want to give a shout out to Christine McCoy out in Menifee, California. She has a water feature that she is not really happy with, and she's basically has a pond's gone wrong, and we're hoping that we can get things situated and solved for her. And in her wish to get this pond, she's looked closely at our business, and she gave me a really cute question. She said, I would love to hear where the name Helix came from and why you made it your brand. And that one kind of touches me, because I've worked really hard on that name, and I think it's really cool that she asked it. So here it is. When we came up with the Helix pond skimmer, it was I didn't plan on that. It just happened. It fell in my lap, the concept. I woke up one morning and went, hey, I think I got this skimmer figured out. So I probably struggled for 6 months to try and figure out what to call this thing. And it's funny, because a lot of the manufacturers that use these crazy names, and I hope I don't mess up by saying names, but you have tornadoes and cyclones and tsunamis, and you have all these crazy like storm names. And so I was like thinking of storms, like is there a storm that's no one used yet? And I was kind of stumped. And then I was building a pond in San Diego, California on Mount Helix. It was so cool. I'm getting goosebumps telling you right now the story, because when we would go to the top of this mountain, the road that went up one section like this, and the road that came down, it circled at the top and then it came back down, just like that helical fashion. I still have those goosebumps going because of the name Helix. It was so cool to me. And actually, I didn't even have the skimmer in my hand yet. It was still in production. I hadn't even got my first skimmer yet when I figured out what we were going to call the name of that skimmer, the Helix Pond Skimmer. So that's kind of how it came to me. And thanks for asking that question, Christine. And I hope we can get your pond back on track as soon as possible. I'm going to end the show with a question for you. I like to hear from all my viewers. I want to know, do you know how many gallons your pond is? Give me a yes or a no. And if you know exactly how many gallons your pond is, tell me. Is it 300, 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000? Put it in the comments below. And if you want me to ask your question, you got to ask me. Hashtag Ask the Pond Digger, and put it on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and I will do my best to answer them on the show. Thanks for watching.